mentioned in a previous video why I preferred Yuji Kuna instead of Megumi Kuna, aka the version of Sukuna that was inside of Yuji's body. But in that video, I didn't really go that deep into it because I was addressing the Megami version of Sukuna in that video as well. But here, I just want to give my reasons and go more in depth why I love the Yuji version of Sukuna so much as a villain. And in all honesty, you Gojo fans might come for your tribal chief, but truthfully speaking, the Yuji version of Sukuna is probably my favorite character in this series. Yes, I love Gojo, Yuji, Megami and Geto and all the other badass characters, but Sukuna in Yuji's body had a different vibe, man. The guy was relentless whenever he took over Yuji's body. The stakes just increased tenfold because of Sukuna, and the scary thing is, he was only at 15 fingers when he was in Yuji's body. Can you actually imagine what he could have done if Yuji ate all 20 fingers and Sukuna was at maximum strength? Yes, he wouldn't have the 10 shadows, but that killer urge within Sukuna would have flourished even more inside of Yuji's body. But just because he was being a troll against some of his opponents doesn't mean he can't act serious and threatening when he needs to be. The scene where Mahito looked into Sukuna's soul while Sukuna was still inside of Yuji's body back in season 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen, he made Mahito speechless, saying to him to never look into his soul again and to know his place, calling him a fool to end it all. But the serious tone in his voice and the lack of evil smile will show you that Sukuna now means business and there's no time to joke around. Or even the time when he fought Jogo, and for a split second in that fight, he became serious and said to Jogo to stand proud and that he's strong. Sukuna, when he was inside of Yuji's body, had that perfect balance of being a troll and knowing when to be serious. And it's that dynamic that makes the character more threatening, because when you see him playing around with his opponents, you know he's taking it easy. But even then, when he takes it easy, he is still overpowering his opponents, such as the Cursed Room back in episode 4 of season 1. So when you see him taking it easy, you start to think to yourself, if this guy is this strong when he's playing around, how strong can he potentially get and how much damage can he cause if he takes a fight seriously? It builds that mystery and suspense by having him both a playful and a serious character. And we do see him seriously fighting as well when he fights Mahoraga. We can see his fighting intellect in full display when he clocked on that Mahoraga has the ability to adapt. So he then decides he has to finish him off in one attack before he adapts to any other attack. So he ended the fight by changing the conditions of his malevolent shrine to slice Mahoraga and to make sure Megami doesn't get caught up in the attack, and then finally incinerating Mahoraga with the fire arrow, the same attack he used against Jogo. Even briefly in episode 2 of season 1 when you see Sukuna vs Gojo, when Sukuna kept coming at Gojo to strike, Gojo kept teleporting away, avoiding his attacks. Sukuna clocked on even then that it wasn't Gojo's speed that's avoiding his attacks, it's his infinity. Sukuna, when he is serious, he is a genius in fighting, and even in the Gojo vs Sukuna fight, he learned how to adapt to infinity and attack Gojo thanks to Mahoraga. Sukuna's whole plan was basically to learn from Mahoraga, and as a result, he has now probably one of the strongest slice attacks in all of fiction. Both the Megami and Yuji version of Sukuna have the serious fighting intellect. It's just that the Megami version of Sukuna, from what we have seen so far, is almost always serious, which in my opinion kind of takes away the entertainment factor from Sukuna's character. But I feel as well he's not as bloodthirsty as he was when compared to the Yuji version of Sukuna. When Yuji ate the first finger of Sukuna, Sukuna immediately wanted to cause a massacre and kill all the humans. When Jogo fed Yuji a further 10 fingers, which added up to 15 fingers that Yuji had consumed, Sukuna started ripping everyone's heads right off and declared that he wants to kill every human in Shibuya. Well, not only did he kill humans, he also killed Jogo and Mahoraga. So whether you are a human, a Shikigami, or a cursed spirit, no one is safe from Sukuna. That is what I mean when I say he was more bloodthirsty compared to his Megami counterpart. He just wanted to go on a mad rampage. He wasn't doing any chess moves to outthink the Jujutsu sorcerers like how he was doing when he took over Megami's body. He just wanted to kill as many people as he can and wanted to do it for the fun of it. Even in episode 4 of season 1 when he was fighting against the Cursed Room, he tells the Curse to help him find Yuji's friends in order for him to kill them. Sukuna literally wakes up in Yuji's body and chooses violence. This is what kept us at the edge of our seats with Sukuna. You know he wants to cause a massacre, so the thrill of the story is for Yuji to get back control of his body before Sukuna gets to do the damage he wants to do. Now that he is inside of Megami's body, he's not going on a mad rampage. Yes, he is torturing Megami to make sure Megami never regains control of his body, but that's about it really. When I think of Sukuna in Yuji's body, think of a force of nature, a killing machine, just unleashing all sorts of carnage. I was hoping to see that carry on to the Megumi version. Where has that urge to cause destruction gone? Surely the guy is still evil, and I know the cursed spirits don't usually go on a rampage. However, with Sukuna it's different. He had the ability to defeat Gojo. He didn't have that fear of facing Gojo in his head. Gojo was sealed away. Even after Sukuna took over Megumi's body, he was still sealed away. So what was stopping him from causing damage? I feel this is one of those aspects in his character that is missing, and I think Akutami is doing that on purpose now. Because Gojo, who's most people's fan favorite character, is now sympathizing with Sukuna, I feel Akutami is trying to humanize Sukuna by making sure he's not super evil in his actions. Like, he can fight the heroes and bury Megumi, but causing mass murder, I don't think Akutami will have Sukuna do that, especially the Megumi version of Sukuna. I have said it already in this video, but arguably Sukuna's best attribute that is missing in the Megumi incarnation of Sukuna is the fact that he is a troll and loves to take the piss out of his opponents. I don't know about you guys, but I love it when the main boss villain has a laugh at our heroes. Like the scene where Mahito and Sukuna were laughing at Yuji. Because Mahito killed Junpei was so messed up. You wanted to cry for Yuji, but you also had Sukuna and Mahito laughing like maniacs. I can't lie, their laugh is so contagious. I wanted to laugh with them, but I was so angry because of what happened to Junpei. But I still found Sukuna laughing at Yuji so funny, even though it was heartbreaking for Yuji. I always found stoic villains boring. You know the types, the ones that just sit on their chair and get their minions to do their dirty work. If the villain was a massive threat, then it masks the flaws of the villain being boring, because you know the heroes will be done if the villains come down and fights them. But I still find them boring. They lack any character and personality, and yeah, you can make the argument that Sukuna is also a typical bad guy, and I'm talking about the Yuji version of Sukuna here, in that he mainly just wants to kill and cause destruction, but at least you can see him laugh and him finding the pain of others amusing to him. Most of these stoic villains don't even laugh. For me, it's hard to invest in a villain if I don't care about them. For example, look at Rob Lucci from One Piece. The guy is a badass, no doubt about that. But him losing to Luffy, I wasn't really celebrating it as much as when compared to when I saw Spandam getting beaten up by Robin. That's the difference I'm talking about. Spandam was a piece of shit villain, nowhere near the power level of Rob Lucci. The guy was a joke. However, the guy was a troll. He had a big mouth and could talk a big game against our heroes, which made me more invested in seeing him lose rather than Rob Lucci. Because Spandam had a personality that you can hate, whilst Rob Lucci was basically the stoic hired gun. Spandam did the talking whilst Lucci did the fighting. And for me, the Yuji version of Sukuna had the perfect mix of that. When Sukuna was laughing at Yuji after the Junpei incident, I hated Sukuna so much for that. It's his laugh, man. His laugh is so contagious that it will make you laugh, but it doesn't take away from the fact that Sukuna was such a prick to Yuji in that moment. And it's in these moments you root for the hero more, because Sukuna has been such a troll to Yuji. You want to see Yuji be the one to beat him. If Sukuna wasn't a troll and was just sitting on his chair in Malevolent Shrine, then would you really care about these two fighting? Would you really care about Sukuna if he didn't have a personality, or the fact that he's bloodthirsty, or that he can be both serious and a troll at the same time? All these traits were in the Yuji version of Sukuna, and now in my opinion, I feel the Megumi version of Sukuna has lost all those traits. I don't know, maybe it's me looking more into something than what's really there, but guys, comment below if you agree with me. Do you feel that the Megumi version of Sukuna has lost that spark that he had when he was inside of Yuji? Or do you feel Sukuna is a better villain now that he is inside of Megumi's body? Comment below and let me know. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the Shaman Tribe.